What's up, family? Man, I'm gonna give you guys a minute before we get started. Come on in. Tonight we're talking about from anger to purpose. From anger to purpose. Man, family, pray for me. I'm a little nervous. I have a lot on my mind. I have a lot that I want to say. You know what I mean? There's a lot that I want to say. Um, and before I even get started, man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, bless you, Paul. How you doing, brother? Man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, I bless each and every one of you that are here on this live. You know, for those of you that catch it later on the replay on YouTube, may God bless you as well. You know what I mean? Again, we're going to go ahead and get started from purpose. No, I'm tripping. I have a lot on my mind. Pray for me. Man, from anger to purpose. From anger to purpose. You know, it's a trip because there are four stages of anger. There are four stages of anger. What's up with you, Karen? How you doing? Long time no see. The four stages of anger, man. First stage, man, it's brain fart, man. You guys pray for me. The first stage of anger, it's man, look at my notes. Man, I'm tripping today. I got a lot on my mind. Stay with me. Come on, phone. My phone don't want to act right now. I'm sorry. First stage of anger is annoyance. You know, you're annoyed. You know what I mean? And the second stage, it's frustration. The third stage, it's hostility. And the last stage is rage. Again, I'm gonna say the four stages again. They're in the descriptions if you want to see it. The four stages of anger. The first one is annoyance. You're annoyed. The second stage is frustration. The third stage, it's hostility. And the last stage is rage. You know, it's a trick because when you look at anger, you never know where somebody's at in their stages of anger. You know what I mean? And earlier this week, there's a situation took place in Houston. A young rapper, man, lost his life. You know, he lost his life, and we all don't know why he lost his life. But you could see this bunch of videos and stuff coming out now. This young man, him and his friends were out there, and they were supposed to be with some group of guys that's supposed to be protecting them and watching out for them. Arguments broke out, and next thing you hear gunshots. You know what I mean? And this young man, 28 years old, you know, lost his life. You know, again, you never know what stage of anger somebody's at just by looking at them. You know, you could bump into the wrong person and they're bubbling with anger and they just blow a fuse and they just go off. You know what I mean? They just go left and it's like, dang, bro, I didn't know you was tripping like that. You know what I mean? Man, and it seemed like that person just snapped for no reason. That person just went off for no reason. But no, family, that's not how anger works. Man, there's stages to this. This person's been building up. The pressure has been building up. This person's been up under some pressure. They've been dealing with some stuff. They were annoyed with something else. There was a trigger event. Okay, stay with me. There's always a trigger event. And that's something that sets it into motion. That sets this person on the path that they're on the anger. You know what I mean? Stay with me. And so what happens is somebody says something, somebody does something, and man, now this anger has been set in motion. They're annoyed. And now the pressure is starting to build. And if it's not checked, if it's not resolved, the pressure builds more. And now it goes from just being annoyed to frustrated. They're frustrated now. And if it's not resolved, it goes a little higher. It goes deeper. The pressure builds even more. Now there's hostility. There's hostility. And the last, man, they just blow up. they blow a fuse. And it's a trip because when we see people blow a fuse, when we see people just erupt, it's like, damn, I didn't know you was up under that fucking pressure. Damn, I didn't know you was so fucking mad. Damn, why are you waking out like this? And it's because we don't see the pressure that they're dealing with. We don't see the pressure that's bubbling within them. And we think that, damn, this motherfucker just got mad for no reason. This motherfucker just went left for no reason. And they can't control their emotions and what do it because we don't see the pressure that's been building over time. We think they went from 0 to 120 instantly. No, it's always a process. There's always a process. It's like a volcano. Man, there's a trigger event. Whether there's an earthquake or whatever, there's a trigger event. Now, the pressure in the volcano starts bubbling. You know what I mean? The pressure starts building. And it's building and it's building. And you can look at the volcano from afar and it's like, oh, there's nothing going on within that volcano. Oh, that volcano ain't corrupt. There's nothing wrong with that volcano. It's just a nice mountain. Man, it may not blow for another 100 years. It may not blow for another 1,000 years. But there's pressure building. And you don't see that pressure building. You see a little smoke coming up. And that smoke, man, that's letting you know there's some pressure there. There's some stuff going on inside. And the more the pressure builds, the more stuff starts coming out at the top. To the point to where, man, the volcano can't take no more. It's expanded as far as it can expand. Now it's just gonna blow its fucking fuse. It has to burst. It has to pop. It has to release the pressure that's been building within it. That's what we do as humans. That's what we do. We take so much pressure till we can't take more, and we're like, I'm fucking done. I'm done. Why? Because that next little straw, that next little incident becomes the straw that breaks the camel back. That next little thing, regardless of how big or small it is, that next little thing is all it takes to set this shit off. We're gonna burn this bitch down. There's pressure. And so what we want to talk about today is how do you deal with that pressure? See, because all of us have pressure. All of us have some form of anger. We're all at different stages in our anger. See, most of us, we've never learned how to control our emotions. We never learned how to recognize the signs. And so what we want to talk about today is how to recognize some of the signs. Some of the things that you could do to minimize and to eliminate some of the pressure. I just shared this story with you guys in the past. Man, when I was a little kid, man, I was crying out to God. Man, a 6-year-old kid crying out to God, just pleading with God. Just, man, I'm just crying in my room to God. I mean, just, God, I'll do it. Just finally surrendering to God. You know what I mean? People have told me my whole life, man, God was going to use you. You're going to be a mighty man of God and woo-doo-doo. All this other stuff they told me. All these great bishops and teachers and evangelists came in from out of state and out of town. And we've always had revivals and stuff back in the 70s. And they would always tell me to come up front. Out of all the people in the church, they would grab me and tell me, and they point out to me, point me out, come up here. And they would slap my head with some freaking oil and talk about what God's gonna do in my life and whoop. And I never want to do that stuff. I never want to be a preacher. I never want to be anybody like that. That wasn't my thing. And so I didn't want to do that. And so finally at the age of 6, I'm in my room and I don't even understand why. But at the age of 6, I'm in my room and I'm just crying, talking to God. I'm in my room having a heart-to-heart conversation with God. I'm in my room as the 6-year-old kid and I remember it like it happened last week. Because it was so unusual for me to be in my room crying out to God. I didn't want nothing to do with the church. It's like, God, I'll come back to the church when I'm old, like all the other guys. God, I'll come back after I have a family, after I get married and have kids, because that's what all the guys did in the church. I didn't see any young black men in the church. And so I'm sitting there crying out to God, God, God. And finally I break down. Okay, God. Snot's running down out of my nose and tears running down. And I'm like, okay, God, I surrender. God, I'll do it. God, just give me these 5 things. What's up with you, Jose? God, just give me these 5 characteristics. Help me do what you want me to do. Just give me these 5 things. God, give me the love of David. Give me the wisdom of Solomon. Give me the faith of Job. Give me the physical strength of Samson. And give me the teaching ability of Paul. Give me these 5 things, God, and then I'll go where you want me to go. I'll say whatever it is you want me to say. And God never answered my prayer. God never acknowledged my cry and my plea to him. And so for the longest, I'm waiting to hear an answer from God. This was on a Thursday. That following Sunday, I was molested in church. It fucked my world upside down. Fucked me up. Because I took it as some 6-year-old kid. Damn, God. What did I do? What's up with you, Sean's workout? What did I do to deserve this? Why did this happen to me? God, I was willing to die for you. I was willing to serve you, go anywhere, preach for you, teach you. I was willing to live my life for you. And this is what you allow to happen. What did I do so wrong? Was I wrong for asking you for these 5 characteristics? Was I wrong for asking for these 5 things? I wanted to be like these 5 great men in the Bible. Was I wrong for asking that? Is this your way of telling me, hell no, Elijah, you're not worthy to be like these 5 guys? Hell no, Elijah, I'm not giving you those 5 characteristics. Who the hell do you think you are? What makes you think you're worthy to be like Paul? What makes you think you're worthy to be like David and Samson and Solomon and Job? Who the fuck are you? That's how I took it. That's how I processed it. In the cold-blooded part, the next Sunday, I got molested in church again. Out of all the places that I could have got molested, I just pleaded and begged God, man, I'll do what you want me to do. But for it to happen in, quote unquote, the house of the Lord, for it to happen in the church, was a slap in the face. For it to happen in church was God's way of showing me, you ain't shit. That's how I took it. And so I became angry, enraged. See, you have to understand, man, as a little kid, I was rejected by my father. Before the molestation, I was rejected by my daddy. I was named after my daddy, but I was rejected by my daddy. And then I saw my daddy murder my mom when I'm 2 years old. And so already the foundation and the trigger moment had already occurred. And so now I'm 6 years old and I'm pleading out to God, and then for these things to happen, set me off. Set me off. I'm angry at the world. I'm angry at God. I hate my family. I hate hate church. I hate Christians. I hate my life. Years later, I was driving down the mountain in my truck, and I could hear God say to me, it's out of nowhere, Elijah, why are you so mad? Elijah, why are you so fucking angry? Why are you so pissed off? And I was angry. No, regardless of how nice I dressed up, regardless of how suited and booted I got, I was angry because I never dealt with the issues. What's up with you, Lucas? I was angry. So I wanted to go to war. I wanted to kill people. I didn't give a fuck about God and all that other bullshit with church. Bless you. Is that God? I think it is, or I think that's God. Bless you. Thank you for that $5 donation. I was angry at God, angry at the world, angry at humanity. So I wanted to destroy some shit. I wanted people to feel my fucking pain. I wanted people to understand the hell that was inflicted on me. It's a trip because even now I sit and I listen to some of your stories. I read some of your comments. I read all the comments, but I read some of the comments and they talk about, man, fuck these bitches and I don't give a fuck about a woman and woo-doo-doo and all this bullshit because they've been hurt by a woman. So in their mind, I'll never give another fucking woman an opportunity to hurt me and to betray me like this bullshit. And some of the women, I'll never let a dude fuck me up like that again. I'll never let a dude get that close to me to where he can hurt me, where he could take me for granted and abuse me. And the trip, although we know that all women aren't the same, every one of us know that all women aren't the same. Every one of us know all guys aren't the same. And yet, because of our hurt and our pain and our unresolved issues, we see them as to say, fuck these bitches. I'll never let a bitch get close to my heart again. Fuck these dudes. I'll never let another dude touch me again. Because we're hurt. Because we're angry. Because we haven't resolved some shit. And we don't see how it's affecting our entire lives. And so I'm driving down the mountain and I'm in my truck just listening to some jazz music. And I can hear God, Elijah, why are you so mad? Why are you so pissed? Why are you so angry? And in my trip, I didn't think I was angry at the time. In my mind, I was cool. I was all right. I was in a good place. So I thought. Because I wasn't focused on the shit that happened to me, I thought I was in a good place. Because I was listening to some jazz music and it was relaxing, I thought I was in a good place. And so what God had to show me, Elijah, you're mad as hell. Why are you so angry? And I'm sitting, I was like, God, I'm not mad. He said, Elijah, you cried out to me when you were 6 years old. You pleaded with me to have 5 characteristics. Why are you so angry? You got everything you wanted. Man, family, if you know me, man, that set me off. You know what I mean? That set me, that was the trigger. because my life was fucked up. Got everything that you wanted. Man, he knew that would be a trigger. He knew that would be the catalyst to get me to blow the fuck up. And I blew up. I blew up. And I'm going on, what the fuck you talking about? I got everything I fucking wanted. I ain't got a damn thing that I wanted. And I'm going in on God, cussing God out on a good one. I went from thinking that I had peace of mind and joy to losing my rabbit-ass mind in a matter of seconds. I went from listening to jazz and being in a good place emotionally, so I thought, to cussing God out and ready to go to war with God over what happened to me when I was 6 years old. Boom, just like that. Just some words that God said to me make me blow the fuck up. And so God had to show me, Elijah, you're so fucking angry because you don't understand life. You're so fucking angry because you don't understand your purpose. You don't understand why you're here. You don't understand why you went through what you went through. You still got a fucking victim mentality. That's why you're still angry. That's why you're still hurt. Because you're carrying that victim mentality. See, because you thought you were coming into the world and you had all these expectations of how life was going to be for you. And so many of us, we get in relationships and we have all these expectations of how life is going to be with this person. And then when it don't work out that way, man, we get frustrated and we're annoyed and we get hostile. And then we blow the fuck up. Because, bitch, you ain't turning out the way you started out this relationship. You changing up on me. This motherfucker, he didn't treat me like that in the beginning. He was nice and calm and polite and now his ass is changed up. His ass don't talk to me. His ass won't touch me. And things change. And because we're not getting what we thought we would get, because things ain't working out the way we expected them to. Man, we're annoyed. We're frustrated. Now we got hostility. Now we have some bitterness. And shit's bubbling and bubbling and bubbling to the point to where, man, the next thing, it's a wrap. I'm done. Fuck you and the horse your ass rode in on. I'm done. And every one of us have gone through that in our relationships. I'm done. I can't take this motherfucker no more. I can't deal with this motherfucker no more. Because we were annoyed. And that annoyance turned to frustration. That frustration turned to hostility. Man, DJ, thank you for that donation. That frustration turned to hostility. That hostility turned to rage. Turned to rage. And we're mad as fuck. And nobody understands why we're so fucking mad. And they think, oh, you're just tripping. Hey, there's no reason for you to be this mad. And you just own one. And you just emotional. And you just so sensitive. And they talking all this shit until they get the shit slapped out of them. They're talking all this shit. So somebody reach out and grab them by their fucking throat and start squeezing the fucking life out of them. And they're sitting there like, oh, shit. Now they want to be apologetic. Now they want to be, more sensitive to what you was dealing with. Now they want to understand your pain. Now they want to understand your frustration. But before they was doing all the yeah, telling you ain't no fucking man, you ain't no fucking woman, they talking all this bullshit. Man, thank you, Dennis. Appreciate the donation. Until somebody reach out and touch their ass. And I'm not justifying you putting your hands on somebody else. I'm not condoning that shit. Don't get it twisted. But it's funny, it's ironic how when somebody do touch your ass and grab you by your fucking throat and start squeezing and adding some fucking pressure to your fucking throat, now you understand and you can relate to the pressure that's been building up in them. Now you can understand their pain and their frustration and their anger. Because somebody started adding some fucking pressure to your life. When you get frustrated, because that's stage one. Excuse me, annoyance. When you get annoyed, because that's stage one. We all go through the same process, dealing with our anger. When you get annoyed, man, you have to see it for what it is. You have to be transparent and honest with yourself and honest with that other motherfucker too. See, most of us don't know how to recognize the signs. And so we just sweep shit up under the rug. And some people, they have this thing that, man, okay, I know he's frustrated with me. I know he's pissed off with me. Let me just give him let me give him a blowjob. Let me give him some ass. Let me go cook for him. Let me go buy him something. Or let me go buy her something. Let me give her some dig. Let me eat her out. Let me do something for her, buy her some flowers or some shit. And that's just gonna make things better. That's gonna make her feel better. That's gonna make him feel better. Let me tell you guys something. That don't do a damn fucking thing. All you're doing is minimizing their fucking feelings. All you're doing is minimizing where they're at emotionally. And if you're not careful, you're going to catch yourself on the wrong end of their fucking anger. Because you're fucking dismissive of their feelings. And so, for those of us that are in that process, man, we're frustrated, we're annoyed. Man, you got to deal with that shit. You have to deal with that. And it's a trip because God had to show me, like Elijah, anger. It's like cancer. And I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? How can anger be like cancer? And so when God showed me that, my wife at the time had stage 4 breast cancer. She was dying. And I'm angry at the world again. I'm pissed at God again. And God had to show me, Elijah. See, if you get cancer in stage 1, oh man, you could just take some stuff and you could get that healed and get that fixed real quick. If you catch it in stage 2 because you didn't catch it in stage 1, man, okay, you can still get that resolved. You can still get that eliminated out of your body. You can still heal that. Stage 3, man, this is a lot more complicated because it's spread more. And see, the higher the stage, the more it's spread throughout your body. Stage 4 is spread throughout your entire body. It's damn near impossible to get rid of because it's already spread throughout your lymph nodes. It's already spread throughout all the organs in your body. That's how anger is. See, when you're annoyed in the beginning, that's stage 1 cancer. It's going to take some work to get rid of it, but it's easier to get rid of it in stage 1 than it is to get rid of it in stage 2, or than it is to get rid of it in stage 3, than it is to get rid of it in stage 4. And so you have to sit there and say, man, I got to focus on this. I got to put in the work on this. Because if I don't resolve this in stage 1, it's going to escalate. It's going to keep escalating until I sit my ass down and fix this shit. Work with kids, at-risk youth. And most of the boys that I work with, man, they're always angry. When you look at the young men growing up, man, they're so fucking angry. When you look at the young women growing up, they're so fucking angry. What is it about this generation that makes them so fucking angry? So I'm working with the young boys, young girls too, but mostly young boys. And most of them don't have their father in their life. Most of them, yes. Most of them have animosity and bitterness and hate towards their mama because they're blaming their mama for why their daddy is not in their life. And so these young boys are growing up and they're mad as fuck. Nobody understands them. Nobody takes the time to spend with them, to deal with them on some real life shit. To have some heart-to-heart conversations with them. And see, most of these young men, we think that, man, I'm just going to beat your ass and give you some fucking act right. That's not going to change the fucking problem. That's not going to fix the fucking problem. And see, within the black community, I'm talking about the black community. Within the black community, man, I'm speaking from what I know, my experience. In the black community, in the 70s, we got our asses beat. Nowadays, I don't know what the fuck y'all do. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers do some stupid ass shit nowadays, talking about disciplining your kids. Man, Lucas, bless you, man. Thank you for that donation. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers don't need, y'all so busy trying to be your kid's friend that you can't even correct them and instruct them. And that's fucking them up even more so. But back in the 70s when I grew up, man, the answer was, I'm gonna beat your ass. Spare the rod, you spoil the child. And so ass beating was the answer for everything. But it never fixed the fucking problem. It never addressed the real life issues. So looking at these young men, these young boys, they're mad as hell, angry as fuck. And so I'm asking them, why are they so mad? Why do they treat their mama like this? And most of them, they don't even understand why they're so disrespectful to their mom. Most of them don't even understand why they hate their family so much. What's up with you, D? Thank you for being here. They're just angry. And so, man, they go to school and they got anger issues. It's a trip. I was growing up. My aunt raised me. And I told her, man, a woman can't tell me a damn thing. A woman can't tell me nothing. And she looked at me and she's like, well, I could beat your butt. I said, but a woman can't tell me nothing. You can beat my butt all you want to, but I'm still going to do what I do. I'm still going to do what I do. And I did what I want to do because a woman couldn't tell me a damn fucking thing because I had no fucking respect for women. Because I was angry at my mama for dying. I didn't know it at the time. I was pissed the fuck off that my mama died. I was pissed the fuck off that my mama abandoned me. My father murdered her when I was 2, but I took it as she abandoned me. So I displaced my hate. I displaced my rage. And I was mad at my mama. And so many young boys, they grow up and their mama is raising them and doing the best that she could do. But man, they're pissed off. They're hurt. Because how come my daddy's not here? How come my daddy don't fuck with me? How come my daddy don't value me? How come my daddy don't love me? How come my daddy left me? And so we start blaming the women as to why the man left. And so we grow up with this displaced hate. And we don't really resolve it. And many of us grow up and we think that we're good now. And we get in relationships. And we're looking, and for women, they're looking for that daddy figure. That daddy figure they never really had. And they don't know how to respect a man. Because they never learned how to respect their daddy. Oh, this is grown folk talk right here. It is what it is. And so you got all these women that don't know how to talk to a man. Don't know how to have a real conversation with a man. Because they never had one in their life growing up. And on the flip side, you have all these young guys growing up hating their mamas. Blaming their mama. And they get in relationships. And they don't know how to respect a woman. They don't know how to love and cherish a woman. They don't know how to talk with compassion to a woman. Because they never learned that as a kid. And so their mama issues become their girlfriend issues. Their mama issues become their wife issues. And the wife issues with her and her daddy. Her abusive daddy. Her absentee daddy. Become her issues with her man. Become her issues with her husband. Because we've never learned how to talk to each other in an intelligent way. We've never learned how to deal with our fucking issues. And so now, you look at our country. You look at our society. And there's almost this silent war between men and women. You got all these women, man, I'm self-made, I'm independent, I'm strong, and fuck a man, and I don't need a man, and I can stand on my own 2 feet, and you were never created to be like that. The truth is, you're fucked up, and you got some fucking baggage that you're carrying that you haven't dealt with yet. You have all these guys, fuck these bitches, money over hoes, and I don't need a bitch, and I don't need a fucking woman, and woo-doo-doo, and all this other bullshit. Because you were never created to be like that. That's your pain speaking. That's your anger and your hate and your rage speaking. Because you never learned how to deal with your issues. And so now, we don't want shit to do with each other. So now we don't even want to fucking conversate with each other. Now it's all about getting whatever the fuck I can get while I can. I'm going to get it before you get me. I'm going to get whatever I can while I can. And when you leave, I don't give a fuck because I expected you to leave anyways. And so we go into these relationships expecting them to end. Because we won't deal with our fucking issues. We go into these relationships and we're pointing the finger at everybody else that we dated, everybody else we've been married to. And all these women got all their fingers pointing at the dudes that they were with. Them motherfuckers was no good, and they were just sorry, and they had beats, and they got all this shit to say about the motherfuckers that they fell in love with. They got all this shit to say about the motherfucker they gave their heart to. They got all this shit negative to say about all these motherfuckers that have broke their heart or ended their relationships. And guys do the exact same thing. So now it's easier just to play fucking games. Now it's easier. Man, I'm just going to stay single for the rest of my fucking life. I'm going to get me a dog. I'm going to get me a cat. I'm going to get me a bear, a tiger, whatever the fuck. I'm just not getting no fucking woman. I'm going to do, you know what I mean? I'll get no fucking dude. And you got all these crazy ass, Jesus is my husband. No, motherfucker, you got some shit you haven't fucking resolved. Grow the fuck up. Jesus don't want to be your raggedy ass fucking husband. You got some shit you need to deal with. We have to grow the fuck up and deal with our fucking anger. Deal with our fucking hurt. So I work with these young boys. I say, okay, you're angry? They're like, yeah, and their faces turning red. They're starting to hyperventilate, wanting to shake and all this other shit, puff out their chest and ball their fists. But they know they ain't do shit to me. You know what I mean? We already know that. You know what I mean? But they're just going through the motions. Okay, yeah, you mad? Get real mad. Drop down and give me 100 fucking push-ups while you mad. You mad? Come on, let me take your ass out here to this fucking hill. You're gonna run up and down this fucking hill. You mad? Good. Now push this motherfucking wheelbarrow up this motherfucking hill. It's a quarter of the fucking mile. I'm gonna fill it with some logs. Push this bitch up the fucking hill. You still mad? Push it back down the hill. You mad some more? Push it back up the hill again. Why? Because that anger is a lot of energy. It's excess energy. So I'm showing these young boys, yeah, you mad? Ain't nothing wrong with being mad. You angry? Ain't nothing wrong with being angry. Learn to use that fucking energy. You angry? That's good. I'm glad you're angry. That means you gotta do a whole lot of fucking push-ups. You angry? You mad as hell? That's good. That means you gotta be able to push this motherfucking wheelbarrow for a long ass time. You mad? Go in the fucking bathroom, shut the door, and do some fucking squats. Up and down, do them until you're fucking dog dead tired. See, most of us, we've never learned how to convert that fucking energy. And so we snap at other people. We fight other people. We go the fuck off on other people. And so what I had to show these young people is that it's just energy. Don't go in the bathroom. Don't go in your room and start punching holes in the wall. That's unproductive release. Man, let me show you how to use that energy. Sit your ass down and write poetry. Sit your ass down and start writing some songs. Sit your ass down and start drawing if that's your thing. Sit your ass down and start painting if that's your thing. Learn how to convert that energy. Learn how to utilize that energy in a healthy manner. When people ask you, man, how did you get so yoked up? How did you get all those muscles? Man, I was angry at the fucking world. I was mad as hell. I had this young man. Man, I did 100 push-ups and I'm still mad. Oh, you didn't do enough push-ups yet. Go down and do another fucking 100. Because I guarantee you, you do enough push-ups, you'll stop being angry. I guarantee you, you run enough, you'll stop being angry. I guarantee you, you start doing enough squats, you'll stop being angry. You're still angry because you still have excess energy built up inside of you. You have to learn how to release it in a healthy way. I guarantee you, after you do 150 push-ups, 200 push-ups, you're going to be dog dead tired. You're going to feel the pain in your arms and in your chest, and you ain't going to be thinking about what pissed you the fuck off no more. Because now your focus is shifted to, damn, man, I feel this shit in my chest. Damn, my back is a little sore. Damn, my arms are shaking. Damn, my legs are tired and shaky. They're wobbly because I ran so much. Now that you've released that excess energy, let's sit here. Let's start having a heart-to-heart conversation about what was the triggering moment. What was the thing that set it off? What was the trigger? See, because the trip is a lot of these young dudes and young women, they would see kids. And like the little boys that I'm working with, they didn't have father figures in their life. And they would go to school or they would be out somewhere in a relatively good mood. But they would see a father, somebody they perceived to be some kid's father. And now they're angry. See, because they don't have a daddy. Their daddy don't give a fuck about them. Their daddy ain't in their life. All they did was go to football and they saw football practice or went to basketball practice or baseball or just walked to school, went to the mall or whatever, and they saw another kid with a male figure they assumed was their daddy. And it was a trigger to them. You ain't got a daddy. Your daddy ain't taking you nowhere like this kid's daddy's taking him. Your daddy ain't buying you shit like this kid's daddy's buying them some stuff. Nobody said nothing to them. All they did was see something that triggered something, that made them feel invalidated, that made them feel unloved, unwanted. And it set them off. It set them off. Because they didn't have a father figure in their life. And now they're mad at this kid. Now they want to beat the shit out of this kid. This kid didn't do anything to them. This kid didn't say anything to them. They're hurt. They're jealous. They're frustrated. They have all this hostility. Now they're enraged. Trip is, grown-ups do this stupid ass shit too. I see grown-ups doing the same stupid ass shit as these little kids do. I see strong black men dating a white woman. Strong black men dating a Hispanic woman. Strong black men dating an Asian woman. And single black women going the fuck off. Nobody said nothing to them. They were triggered. Nobody did anything to them. They were triggered. Because this black man should be with a black woman. Why the fuck do black men always got to go after some white woman? Why the fuck do black men always, all the good black men always got to go after an Asian woman? Why the fuck do all the good black men have to go after the Hispanic woman? That's not the case. That's her issue. That's her unresolved issue. Why? Because she's lonely. Because she ain't got a man in her life. She's not in a healthy, loving, compassionate relationship. And so that's a trigger to her. That sets her off. See, with white men, why do all of our good, beautiful women, white women, have to date these black guys? Why do all these good, beautiful white women have to date these thugs and these criminals? Why do all our good white women have to date these hoodlum Mexicans? Unresolved issues. And it's a trigger. It's a trigger. And we blame everybody else for triggering us. We get mad at everybody else for triggering us. And the whole God is like, no, stupid. Sit your ignorant ass down somewhere. I'm trying to show you something. You're being triggered not because of this person. You're being triggered not because of this. You're being triggered because you have unresolved issues. You're being triggered because you haven't dealt with the pain and your frustration. And because you haven't dealt with your issues, it's bubbling up within you. And like a volcano, you're gonna fucking blow a fuse. Because you won't address the real issue. You're blaming everybody else for the issue. But the pressure is bubbling within you. You're about to snap, but you're mad at everybody else. You have to learn how to be transparent and honest with your fucking self. It don't matter how much education you have. It don't matter how much money you have. If you don't deal with the fucking root causes of your issues, they're gonna linger. They're gonna fester. They're gonna build up momentum until you lose it. Until you lose it. How do you deal with your anger? Man, you got to understand why you have anger problems in the first place. Why does this situation piss you the fuck off? Why does this situation annoy you so fucking much? Why does that get on your nerve so damn bad? Where did that come from? See, every time somebody questions you, you blow up. Why? Every time somebody challenges you, you blow a fucking fuse. Why? The truth is, you don't feel you feel inadequate. You feel inadequate. You feel less than. And every time somebody points out your faults or your errors or something you do wrong, man, that feeling of inadequacy jumps up. Every time you're in a relationship and somebody's telling you, babe, man, why do you keep fucking doing this? I hate this shit. I can't stand when you do this, blah, 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 blah. Every time somebody points out something that you're doing or that you're saying and it triggers you and it puts you on one and it sets you the fuck off. Why? Because you feel inadequate. Let's call it what it fucking is. Grow the fuck up. Stop blaming them and saying they just weak and they just... No, motherfucker, you feel inadequate. That's why you get bothered. That's why you get pissed. That's why you get annoyed and frustrated, because you feel inadequate. And you was hoping that they wouldn't see your faults and your character defects. And now they're calling you on some shit. Now you can't handle it. You don't want to handle it. And so every time somebody says that you didn't do this right, or you messed up on this, or you didn't do this right, man, now that feeling of inadequate, I'm not good enough. I can't do shit right. I'm not accepted. Where does all that shit come from? When was the first time you started feeling that way? The truth is, for the great majority of us, we started feeling inadequate when we were a kid. Was there something our parents said to us? Oh man, you didn't do good enough in this, and you didn't do good enough on this. Oh, you got an A minus in this, and why didn't you get an A plus? And you should have got this, and you should have got this, and you should have got a 4.0, and that makes us feel like, damn, I'm not good enough. Damn, I drew these pictures from my mom, and she's like, I don't want that shit. Why do you keep bringing me this shit home? And that makes us feel like, fuck, I can't draw. Fuck, I'm not smart. I'm not good enough. My mama's not proud of me. My daddy's not proud of me. What's up with you, I hate it? So that feeling of inadequacy comes for the great majority of us when we're fucking kids. Maybe it was a teacher. And a teacher told you that you couldn't be an engineer. The teacher told you you couldn't be a doctor. You couldn't be an astronaut, whatever the case may have been. Maybe somebody told you you were ugly. Maybe somebody was laughing because you had big lips or big nose, or your ears are too big, or your eyes are crossed. Maybe you were too dark, too skinny, too fat, too tall, too light. Your hair wasn't just right. It could be anything to make you feel inadequate. And if you're not careful, and if you don't resolve this bullshit, you'll go into your relationships. You'll spend the rest of your life feeling inadequate. And every time somebody points out something that you messed up on, every time somebody points out something that you didn't do that you should have done, it's a trigger. It sets you off. And so many of us, well, a lot of us, especially a lot of women, man, we take on this mentality of, man, I got to be perfect. Now, I got to bow down and kiss this man's ass. I got to do everything for them. Because I don't want them to see that I'm inadequate. I don't want them to see that I'm not good enough. And so if I'm super nice to them, if I go way above and beyond and do all this extra shit, they won't see what I'm not doing. They won't see my shortcomings. They won't make me feel invalid. They won't make me feel like I'm not loved. Anger. Going from anger to purpose. And so we have to learn that all the shit, and God had to show me, going back to me being molested and my father murdering my mom and my father rejected me and all the shit that I went through. It's a trip because I thought my life was fucked up. And what God had to show me, no, everything that you went through, there was a purpose. Everything that you went through, it was critical for your growth and development. You had to experience everything you experienced to help you reach your full potential. You had to experience every rejection, every betrayal, every disappointment, every frustration. You had to go through it. You had to experience that. And the problem isn't that you experienced all that shit. The problem is you haven't learned how to convert that energy. You haven't learned how to convert that lesson into its blessing. Say it again. The problem isn't that we've gone through all the hell that we've gone through. The problem wasn't that I was molested twice. The problem wasn't that my father rejected me. My father disowned me. It wasn't that my mother was murdered at the age of 2. It wasn't that I was beat down for being left-handed and forced to become right-handed. Those wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem. The problem is I didn't understand the lesson. I didn't see the blessing. And so I was angry at the circumstances. I was angry at the situations. And once I grew up and I started having heart-to-heart conversations with God, and God started showing me the lessons and the blessings. All of the blessings attached to the lessons. Then I became grateful. Then I became humble. And happy that I was able to go through all that I went through. Why? Because I wouldn't have the knowledge and the wisdom and the insight and the love and compassion that I have now. Had I not gone through all of that. I wouldn't be able to help these kids and all the people that I have had I not gone through all of the hell that I've gone through. There's a whole lot of people that have gone through hell. But they've never learned how to take those situations, how to take those lessons and turn them into blessings. What I mean, because I grew up without my mama, because I grew up without my daddy, because I grew up hating the world, because I grew up the way that I did, I learned to say, okay, how can I bless some other kid? How can I be a beacon of hope, a beacon of love, a beacon of joy to some other kid to help them make it through their fucking pain, to help them make it through their suffering? Because the reality, there's always going to be some kid that's molested. There's always going to be some kid that's violated. There's always going to be some kid that grows up feeling insignificant and unwanted. And if I could share my story, if I could share my pain and my suffering and help them understand and show them, man, that doesn't stop you from being all that you could be. That doesn't stop you from reaching your full potential. And so you take the lesson and you convert it into a blessing. And now you're speaking love and you're sharing the knowledge and the wisdom and the insight that you have. Now you're pouring hope into other people. You're making them feel like, man, it's not just me. Because so often when we go through shit, we think, man, nobody understands. Nobody knows the pain that I'm going through. Nobody knows the hell that's been inflicted on me. And so when we share our story and how we overcame, we empower the person we're talking to. We empower the next generation. We empower the people we're speaking to. And we show them how to eliminate that victim mentality and how to walk in their power. And so we help them find their voice. We help them find their purpose. Just by being transparent. Just by being honest about the shit we went through. And not wanting them to grow up and be strung out on fucking dope, strung out on fucking different toxic ass relationships and alcohol and other stupid shit we do to cope with our fucking pain and suffering. And so if I can help you to navigate through this hell without spending so many years in the fucking dungeon of self-hate and self-sabotage, man, I've done my purpose. I've done my job. And that's what life is all about. That's what our purpose is all about. Learning to take the lesson and creating a blessing out of it. That's how you know you've healed. That's how you know you didn't just go through it, because everybody goes through shit. But everybody doesn't grow through their shit. See, there's no purpose in just going through shit if you're not gonna grow through shit. That's the difference in you and your siblings. That's the difference between you and your mammy, you and your pappy, and everybody else that ostracizes you, that hates you, and looks at you being so fucking weird. And what do we do? You're in this spiritual kick. You're in this growth and development shit because you're trying to grow through your bullshit. And they never learned how to grow the fuck up. They're so mad and angry that they've gone through some shit. And we're sitting here trying to grow through that shit. That's what separates us from the average person. That's what separates us from the normal people. That's what separates us and makes us chosen and called out, and the light workers and the healers and the beacons of hope and love and compassion and joy, because we've grown through some shit. People look at you and they know that you've gone through some shit. They've gone through similar shit. And now they're mad and jealous of you. How can you be so fucking positive? How can you be so loving? How can you be so optimistic and all this other bullshit they spew? Because they've gone through shit. They just didn't grow through it. And you made a conscious decision. Man, if I gotta go through this shit, I might as well grow through this shit. Why? Because the universal law says until you learn the lesson, you're going to keep going through that fucking cycle. That's universal law. It's not like in America where we have this no child left behind bullshit. We just going to pass your ass along. The universe don't work like that. You refuse to grow up? Okay, you're going to sit your raggedy ass right here and you're going to keep going through these toxic ass, bullshit ass relationships. You're going to keep getting fucked up and dealing with this stupid shit over and over and over until you grow the fuck up, until you grow through this situation. Universal law. You have to grow through it. All of your anger. You know what? And I'm bringing this to a close. There's been so many beautiful love songs written from people with broken hearts. There's been so many beautiful paintings and drawings and books written by people that got dogged out in relationships, by people that had a broken heart. The difference. You allow that negative energy to keep you on that low vibrating bullshit. And you take on a victim mentality. And other people take that same situation, that same pain, that same suffering, and they convert something beautiful out of it to help others heal, to help others grow. There's nothing wrong with being angry. Understand why you're angry and learn to convert that energy into something positive, something beneficial. I love working out when I get angry. Yes, I'm a Pisces. I love working out when I get angry. Why? It's an adrenaline rush. It's a rush of energy. It's all how you choose to use that energy. It's your choice. Man, I hope and pray that I've said something that's helped you, that's inspired you, that's helped you in your growth and development. Man, I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.